the Fischl and Xing Chao combo, right? Then the other team, like you can go with Zhang Li. Then if you decide to go Noel, means that the two combos going to be the Geo combos. So now, what you need on this one is a big heal, which is that's where Bennett's come in. Then to add more DPS, and gonna add like another fire, which just makes sense to add Jiang Ling is because the active skills provides in the group setups that you can do auto attack, right? It doesn't make sense if you put D-Lock in there because you have two main DPS. So mostly your attack is going to be on Fischl because she will do more damage than D-Lock, right? When you're doing some combo. But if you remove Fischl in the thing, then you can add him as the party. You can also do this thing too. You can turn Fischl to be a support DPS, but you can also like put her in here. Oh, in here, right? Then to add like additional combo for like Electro, then it's either like you want to add like additional eyes in there, or you can add eyes in there. Means that you have a battery in here that heals you, but then again you have Zhongli. You don't really need heals if you have Zhongli, but just in case that you take damage, you just need someone that heals you a little bit in your group, which is Diona. So Diona can provide you some healing, some battery, which is energy recharge, and gives you that debuff and that shield, which is like if you combine two of this lightning and thing, you get that super contact. So if you're auto attacking with Noel, at least that the physical will kick in and do some damage. But you don't want to do that too much, right? Because like you want to focus on this main group because this is literally your main group, which is like the 1-2 combo, which is Fischl and Xing Chao. Those are like the best combo to have. But you can also like make this thing too as like a support DPS. So it means that you can add Kexing in here, make her as a support. Just like put the bird in there, then use a burst attack, and then you auto attack with Kexing, then burst attack. You can also do that. I'm just giving you some recommendation right now, right? Just giving you some recommendation. So you just choose. Well, I'm not gonna let you choose. I'm giving you an option, basically. So now, like whatever like spell abyss that you need, like element wisely, then you put it on the second team, right? So this is basically your 1-2 punch combo. So it depends like which one do you need on certain dungeon, then you put them in there. For example, if you need to gather them, then you put like Venti in here, right? Just gather them and then just go slashing in them while they're mid-air. So if you need some additional damage, or if you want to attack a little bit faster, and then you put him in there in a team. So you do that field, and then you put the Venti in there, and then you auto attack. While they're like staying in the sky or like in the air, you auto attack with no wall and do insane amount of damage, by the way. Right? And then it means that you can put like Bennett and Zhang Ling on the other team. But if you need a certain element like an ice on the other team, then you can put like thing like this. You can put like thing in there, and you can just choose anything that you want. Maybe Zhang Ling's in there too for active skill, so you can put the bear while you auto attacking. What if I replace Bidu with Kexing on part 2 with Chong? Wait, what? What do you mean? What do you mean? I can decide main DPS because seems like each abyss floor needs different DPS, like some need deluxe, some needs no wall, and some Kexing. To be honest though, you don't really need Kexing. I don't think you need Kashing. In my point of view, I don't think you need Kashing, to be honest. Kashing is good, but I don't think you need him. I need her. Because you have Fischl already. Well, the reason why we use Bidu in there because she has the active skill. Kashing doesn't have an active skill. That's why we use Bidu instead of a thing, right? That's why I went with this kind of setup, right? Because she has an active skill. I can do an easy, quick skill to get some energy. I don't think Kishing has that kind of like ability to give you that a lot of particles. Because if I do a perfect counter, you get that nice energy coming out of her. Plus, you can think too, but it's just weird to like use Kishing in this kind of situation because like she doesn't have an active skill, which is like active skill is there's a skill that damaging the enemy without using the character. Electro damage. Hey, how am I gonna explain this to you? So, Kishing is a main DPS. It's really bad to mix two main DPS in the same group, right? It's bad to mix two main DPS in the same group. To make a character to be a support on the team, it's either that they have a energy or like not energy but an active skill or burst attack, active skill or active burst attack, or if that a character's a battery. Those are the two key factors on your group. Be more faster for finish floor 12. No, it doesn't work like that. Okay, let me. So, what do you mean? Why it's bad to use Kishing? Did I already explain it? I said that it's bad to combine two main DPS in the same group. The reason why is like, what would happen if I use Kishing to DPS, right? To DPS. What would happen to Noel? He'll be sitting in there and not getting benefit. So if I use Noel, what's gonna happen to Kishing? She's sitting there and doing nothing, pretty much. Does that make sense? Or should I explain like better than that? I'm really bad at explaining. I mean, why bad combined to DPS? No, no, there's two types of DPS on Genshin. One is main DPS, which is the one that you use to attack to put out like a lot of damage, like pretty much like Fischl, right? Fischl, Kishing, Zhao, D-Lock, right? The one that you use like more than 3 seconds when you're switching. So I'm gonna explain this to make a lot sense to you. Because I thought I'm explaining it properly already, and he's still not getting it. That's why this is what I'm talking about, like the active skill. Does Kishing has active skill? Does Noel have active skill? Those two don't have an active skill. Well, Noel have that shield. What does the shield Noel shield does benefit in the team? Not really. Like Like, I get what you're trying to say. Like, they're both do some nice damage. That's why I'm talking about the active skill. Okay, tell me, do you get that the active skill that I'm talking about? Do you get it? Because I'm pretty sure that I don't think you know what active skill or active burst attack that I'm talking about. I think it's better if I go inside here so I can explain it better. Alright, so yeah, so makes that's why you don't really get them trying to say. So this is the active skill that I'm talking about. So I'm gonna put like all the active skill that available right now. Alright, just to make sense. Active skill is this. When you place a skill on the ground and it's active and it's doing damage or getting benefit from the team, when you're switching, that is active skill. So for example, E of that bird does damage to the enemy, even though that she's not on the ground, which is active skill. So if you do something, right, it will damage the enemy, which is active skill, right? Same thing as Bennett. Bennett like put like that skill, which is the burst attack on the ground, leaves it, which is active skill, can benefit from the group. So when I use a skill, means that it can increase the damage. So if I combine all those things, oh my, this is a bad example. And same thing as Zhang Ling. Zhang Ling has the bear, which is active, and the burst attack. So if I switch with the different characters, it's still active and doing damage without even using that character. So for example, if I combine that together with the thing, and then I auto attack with this active skill, and then use this one together, you see all this mixed up active skills happening right now? So what would happen if I use Noelle and Kexing together? They don't do any benefit together, right? So that's what I'm talking about, the active skill. So make sure that everything that when you're switching, make sure that they're benefiting from switching to the other one, and they're doing something to increase your damage or they're damaging the enemy. But Kexing and Noelle doesn't have that because they're both main DPS. Does that make sense? That makes sense? So let's see if I go switch to Kexing and thing, and I'm gonna show you why it's bad to combine them. I mean, it's still good, but sometimes though, like you losing DPS. You get it, right? You get what I'm trying to say? That's why it's bad to mix two main DPS, is because they're not getting benefit from each other, right? So for example, I have three main DPS in here. Who's are my active skill in that group? No one. No one gets benefit from those combos. Zhongli provides that shield and gives debuff to increase your damage and protection. So you don't need to use him. All you need is shield, right? You don't need to do damage with him because you're already increasing your damage from your team because you have Zhongli's shield. Noelle shield is not strong and doesn't last long comparing to Zhongli. That's why I said that Noelle shield doesn't really benefit you, is because the shield is not strong. It takes a while to build her, and you know, it doesn't really absorb comparing to Zhongli. So right now, see, if I do the shield, then switch to Noelle, right? Pretending that I'm like doing some damage and I use some burst attack, right? Then I switch to thing, like, do you see any active skill in there? I only see Zhongli's active skill in there. Then I go like do this, burst attack, and then thing. Means that I'm just doing a single, then I switch to this one, and switch to D-Lock, right? Like, do you see any active skills happening on the other team? No. So basically, that means that you're losing DPS because you have too many main DPS in this group. And then you switch again, and then you go back again, right? See, nothing happening. You're only doing a single hit. Even though you're doing a big hit, but there's no combo. Active skill. Makes sense, right? That's why you need an active skill. It's either you want an active skill as a support. So this is like I said though, there's different types of support and DPS. One is support DPS, one is support battery, and the other one's like DPS burst. DPS burst is pretty much Mona. You don't have Mona. So you started to get it, right? That's why I said that it's so bad to combine Noel and Kashing because they don't like synergize. That's why when you look at the team you have in here, make sure that you have an active skill. So you gotta pick one, which one's your main DPS. To be honest, you don't even need main DPS. You see my team on Zhang Li, Albedo, Bennett, and Jiang Ling. They're all pretty much like synergize to each other, and there's no main DPS. So I can use all of them as my main DPS damage by just switching and using my burst attack. Because they have like all active skill. So that's what you're looking for if you're going for a character. That's the first thing that you're looking for. Do they have an active skill, right? Can they benefit you for your team? Is it worth like, you know, wishing for that character? Ganyu has that factor because like Ganyu has that reign that lasts forever pretty much. And she can be a support or main DPS. That's why like that character is good. Same thing as Albedo. Albedo has this active skill which is the E. I place it on the ground and I can just like switch to main character, and without even using Albedo, he's pretty much like doing the most damage, right? So I can show you right now before I end the stream, and pretty much I need to work out soon because it's ending up my stream. So I can explain more later on. So see, I can show you right here quick. That's why I said like Albedo is so good because I can just leave it in there without even using him, and he's doing the most damage. So for example, if I go to thing here, right? I'll just like pretending that I'm gonna be like doing like that, right? Yes, that's correct. Like you could pretty much like without even using the support, at least they're doing damage while you're attacking with your main DPS. That's correct. See, for example, that you do this. I put the Albedo's things E. I don't have to use her, and then oh shit. And then I do this. Oh shit. Come on. Alright. See, I can just like sit in here and just like do nothing because I have active skill, right? See, if I have main DPS, I can just auto attack them while they're taking some damage, right? So right there. That's why I said like Albedo and thing is so good because their thing is like it takes long, so you don't have to use them and you're doing some damage, right? Look, see? I'm not even using Albedo and he's doing the most damage right now. Right? Makes sense. I'm not even using him and he's doing the most damage, look. So that's why you need to think about like your team lineup. Active skill is the really important to support your main DPS basically. That's why it's bad to mix like two main DPS in your group. So while you auto attacking like this, at least that the other guys are not useless and they're doing something in your group. And if you mix everything together, you'll do some insane damage. Oh, by the way, Ganyu's not wearing anything. Well, she's not even wearing anything, and look like she's doing the damage, but no, that's all albedo right there. That's literally all albedo right there. Ganyu's not even wearing anything. Right? It makes sense, right? That's why I said, like, mixing two main DPS is just not good. See, look. Ganyu is not wearing anything. A level 1 sacrificial bow and whatever left is in there. That's just wearing. And I'm killing those really fast because of albedo. So if you make your support really powerful or like they're doing some nice stuff, you can make them like a battery to gain your ability and stuff like that, then but anyways, I gotta go because I have to work out after this. And I'm supposed to be off in like 20 minutes, but I love explaining stuff though. I'm bad at explaining, but you know, I love explaining stuff. As long as like people gets me, you know. Sometimes sometimes I have to show them to make it understand because sometimes like when I'm saying this probably in part of their head I'm just like bobbling, you know. I'm just like mumbling. Just because they're really powerful doesn't mean that, you know, you can mix them with other main powerful characters. Sometimes you have to balance them to make them, you know, it makes sense to make sense pretty much. Shut up, Noel. Alright. So yeah, I'm gonna call it off in here and then we'll continue this again tomorrow.